Okay, people, we are going to go through Google Forms here. Google Forms, you can get there in quite a few different ways. I prefer one way, but I'm going to show you the other ways as well. First, if you're just on any Google product, you can either go up to your bookmarks and hit the apps that should have Google Forms in there. 2, the 9 dots on the right-hand side of any Google product should have the forms in there, which mine is right there. You also, if you want, can just type forms.google.com. Let's enter. You'll get there. But my favorite way is to go to my drive. The reason why is when you make a form, it's going to end up spitting out a spreadsheet as well. And if you just make a form in here, if you just create a blank form, I'm just going to call this "Look at Me." So take that and put that into the form title, and I'm just going to close it out. Now, where did it go? Most people, when they struggle with Google, they're always concerned about where did it go. It always went to your drive. The drive is the most important part of Google. And if you don't do it that way and you get confused, you don't know where it went, then you think Google ate it and blah, blah, blah. What it really did is anytime there is a random Google Doc, presentation doc, slides, forms, Jamboard, etc., if you just build it in the builder and close out the tab, it gets born into your drive and it goes below the last folder in your drive. Now, some of you know yourselves, some people have drives that have a cavalcade of different loose files and folders. Below the last folder, it gets put there. When you make that form, eventually it's going to make, and we're skipping steps here, but we'll explain them in a second. It's eventually going to have a response document. That response document, if you don't do anything else, will also get just tossed into the sea of files in your drive. So for me, I always like to go to my drive and make sure I'm in the right folder before I make a form. Now, if this is your first time making forms, what I would do is make a folder, call it your forms folder, or whatever you decide. But building it in a folder will definitively make it, there's my forms folder, so that when it comes time to make a new form, go to your forms folder first. Oops. And go new form. The reason why is it'll still open that normal Google Forms, but what it'll do is it will route it to that folder. Meaning, as soon as I start typing in here, what you're going to notice is it's going to save all the changes into Drive, but it's going to put it in the Forms folder. And that way I can always find my form. And that way when I inevitably have the responses for that form, it will all be in the same spot. That's my number one way to get to Google Forms is, and I'll show you that one more time, is to go to Drive, go dig into my files, wherever it is. Once I'm in that form, I make a Google form. Or you can go to forms.google.com, or you can hit your 9 dots, either on the right or in your bookmark bar. In the next one, we're going to start getting into the nuts and bolts and the buttons of Google Forms.